Y'all watching me clean up the aftermath of a seafood Sunday. I just had crawfish and I was gonna do a story time, but you still get the story time, you just don't get the crawfish. I wonder if I could do it right here. I think I'm gonna do the couch because I could lean back on the couch and it'd be more comfortable, at least just a little bit. Or let's see how it look. Let me see. Let me sit back in my computer chair. Nah, we can do the couch, and I'm gonna use the other tripod, the one with the ring light on there. That's more comfortable. So, what's up, y'all? I'm still full from that seafood. Let me know if y'all want me to do a mukbang. And I'm out of air. Man, the water way over there. Excuse me. Woo. It was 4 pounds of crawfish in a gumbo. I was at a deficit today in calories, so it's a guilt-free meal for me, even though I feel like at like 7, I'm gonna feel normal again. I'm gonna work out. I may go to the gym because they 24 hours today. But anywho, today was the day y'all been waiting for, a story time. I wanted to do 2 story times today, but in between loading, I need to move this from by my legs so I don't keep bumping it. In between loading and etc. Let me see if I rock my legs, if it's gonna move. Okay, it don't. In between all of that, it took up like the time flew by today. Not to mention it's like smoky out here. So with the mukbang, I'm not gonna go to the seafood place that I got the seafood from because they crawfish is mid. It be hit or miss sometimes. And I'm gonna go to fiery crab because that's more like what out of town people used to, because that's the style they do their crawfish, even though it's in New Orleans. But anywho, I'm really out of breath. That's crazy.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Not from the food, but I was running around because I see time was passing to get this video started before it got too late, because however long my videos are, that's how long it takes for me to edit them, because I rewatch through it and try to find mistakes and add captions if need be for clarification and stuff like that. So yeah, and also too, I was putting my valet trash outside. I just said that. I don't know. This neighborhood is crazy now. It used to be nice when I first moved in 3 months ago. Now it's like it's going down. But as long as they don't bring roaches in here, I'm fine. But one thing about roaches, you could pray roaches away, and you gotta know whether they're your roaches or somebody else's roaches. If the light's on and they still out, that's your roaches. If the lights come on and they run, somebody else's roaches. But nevertheless, you can pray roaches away. Or you could just hit me up and I'll tell you the stuff I use. It's some brown stuff that I've used to help people I know with roaches. Shout out to y'all who I help with y'all roaches. And it worked within like anywhere from a week to a few months, because depending on how bad the infestation is, it basically stops them from having babies. And every time they pass away, another roach because they eat each other, which is nasty. The chemical that is in the stuff transfers until eventually they stop laying eggs, and then all of the live ones pass away. But this is probably the most random story time y'all ever heard, because I'm starting it off talking about roaches. Speaking of roaches, this story time is about the time I went to Las Vegas with somebody that was broke. Cliche, 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 right? So basically, mentioned in the previous video too. So if you get a chance, go look at the previous ones. Basically, it just stopped recording. So basically, I decided that I was gonna go to Las Vegas, and let me make sure it ain't hot. Oh, it is kind of hot. I need to hurry up. I don't know why my phone get hot like that. Y'all gonna hear about that until I get another iPhone. But I'm not patient when it comes to inanimate objects like electronics. So I might just get a 14 and just call it a day and just wait till the 16 come out, because I'm really serious about YouTube and I'm serious about y'all. Y'all have grown from 13 subscribers that been sitting there for who knows how long to, as of 4-something today, I had 74 subscribers. So thank you to each and every one of y'all. Thank you to everyone who likes videos. Liking the videos and the YouTube shorts helps it to show up on other people who don't follow me page, which eventually people who interested in hauls, vlogs, story times, random rants, coming soon mindset videos. I'm gonna definitely do at least 2 mindset videos this week. People who like those, y'all connect them to me when y'all like the videos. Back to the story, that the camera cutting off kind of threw me off a little bit. Not to mention I'm out of breath. I don't know why. I do a lot of cardio, but I'm still a fat kid at heart. In my mind, I'm always be 300 pounds. Anyways, I decided I was gonna go to Las Vegas. I was messing with Spirit. Spirit was still new to me. I hadn't seen all of the negative stuff on the internet. And even if I would have still went, because I'm like a trenches kind of dude. For me, if I wasn't placed in this nice neighborhood, I would be living in the projects right now. Like, not even income wise, I would be paying full rent because I don't get Section 8 like I did a few years ago. I was paying $700 and all my neighbors had free rent and cheap rent because I like the hood. So Spirit didn't bother me with some of the setbacks that they had. They had a flight to Vegas with luggage included, it was $150. Or maybe the round trip was $150. It had to be that, because what ends up happening is I book a trip to Las Vegas. Don't even worry about the price because I don't remember. And I ended up going out to Papados and meeting up with my homegirl. Keep in mind, a majority of the people I knew over the years that I'm not close friends with, because my close friends, they have always been solid. But for me, I didn't have boundaries and I didn't have standards, and I kind of was lacking somewhat self-awareness. So to be perfectly honest, I used to hang with anybody. But for me, I've always been a giving person too. So if I'm around people, if we at dinner, if it's women, from me growing up with sisters and a mama and seeing women being mistreated, my whole life I always just wanted to be that person that was there for women and be that shoulder, protect them from abuse. I don't know if I can say that word. Protect them from stuff like that and just different things. So I've always been very generous to women. I always wanted to be a safe place for women and just be their friend. But a lot of people never wanted to be my friend. They just enjoyed the benefits of it. And that's my fault, because I've always knew something was off and I never trusted my intuition. So I take the L for everything, but I'm still gonna get this story time off because that's why I'm here. Because I already told y'all in the beginning, I got stories. So we go to Papados. Of course I paid for the meal, but they asked me what I was doing. So my problem is I used to overshare a lot. I used to tell you everything I was doing. I'll tell you all my goals. I'll tell you what I'm doing the next day. I'll tell you what I just did. Now I'm super private. People could be like, what you doing? I could be somewhere signing $1 million deal and I'll tell them, well, I'm at home laying down. Like, I don't like people knowing my moves now. I haven't even posted on Instagram in months because people use that to track me and I hate that. I tweet, but I don't never tweet my business. I just be tweeting reckless. That's why I'm not gonna promote Twitter on here, because y'all don't need to see that side of me. Y'all gonna get enough of it on here, but it's gonna be in a respectful manner. It ain't gonna be unhinged like Twitter. So back to the story. We at Papados and I mentioned the trip. So then she was like, oh, I wanna go. Here go my dumb ass. Oh, you should come. You're more than welcome. Here she goes. It's gonna keep cutting off and I'm gonna keep cutting it back on. So she like, I can't afford the ticket. So I'm like, well.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Let me see if this ring light is hot. Ring light ain't even hot. I don't know what the phone keeps shutting off. I think it's because it's hot. But so I was like, well, that's all you need is the ticket, right? Because I'm thinking maybe her money was low to where if she bought the ticket, she would be broke out there or something. Again, my fault. Should have kind of asked more questions. But around that time, I just used to have a problem with assuming that people had common sense or assuming people had common courtesy and thinking that I didn't even think it deep enough. And not to mention, we was drinking 3 Wheel Motions, my favorite drink from them. I used to have about 2 of them. I'm lying. 4. But they don't let you have more than a certain amount though. So 2 up, we're gonna stick with 2. So I pull up the Spirit website. I'm like, so if I buy your ticket right now, you're gonna come and you're gonna be good out there. And she said, yeah. Oh, that's so nice. So, okay, you know, no mention of no lack of funds. And to put cheese on the cracker, she one of them people, like all the people on Instagram, everybody rich on Instagram. Whenever I'm not seeing her, at all kinds of restaurants, all kinds of bottle services, all kinds of 5-star restaurants. Now, granted, it usually be with other people, but the people wouldn't be balling like that. They would be regular people like us, so I would assume they going Dutch. I'm not sure how she was paying for that, or maybe it was because I was a duck back then, quack, quack, and she just knew the play broke around me because I had her. Because I even have family that still try to do that to me, but baby, I'm Thanos now. I'm the villain. I don't play them games no more. I'm so stingy. I'm Scrooge too. I'm all them people who selfish, because selfish is good. It's self-preservation, or you ain't gonna survive anyway. So fast forward, you know, the night go on or whatever, them 3-wheel motions. Now granted, the trip was that next morning. So that's why I'm drinking more. So I woke up mad late that next morning. And I had missed calls from everybody, and even her. And it's like, it was like 11 a.m. The flight was for like 6. But I'm not tripping. It's Spirit. They have a change fee. They still honored our full flight amount. I just had to pay the change fee. But by this time, she had invited her homegirl. Homegirl is Miss Independent. She paid for everything herself. The only thing was, I might still have it. I haven't checked. I had like a lot of casino discounts. So my room was free. That's why I was going out there. So all I had to pay for was flight and food. I didn't have to worry about room or anything because I still am a diamond member with Caesars, I believe, because I was in April. So I'll still be one right now. So anywho, I added a room for them because I'm not about to share a room with nobody I'm not sleeping with. I will never do that in life. No, I need my space. So from there, their room was only $11 a night, so it was $33 a night for their room. I ate that up. I ain't tripping, because I would have paid for a room anywhere else. So then, boom, we get out there. Well, the next day, we paid the change fee. We got a flight for 2 p.m. that same day. So I was already ready, and her and the friend was ready. So, Brokey, sorry if you ever see this video, if I ever go viral, but you're Brokey. You still broke now, too.
You go get a damn job.
Yeah.
But my people who know me know I'm like this in real life. I'm not no sneaky person. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna call you broke to your face. I'm gonna call you broke a few times. But again, I gotta get these stories off, y'all. I told y'all don't let me get no YouTube channel, and y'all did. So anyways, like, Brokey and best friend of Brokey, we all make it to Vegas, check into the hotel. They were saying how nice it was. Brokey immediately wanted to smoke weed. And I don't know if I can say that either. I need to read the guidelines of YouTube. I hope I can, but I ain't gonna say it no more. Brokey wanted to consume greenery in the hotel room. And I'm like, bro, this room is in my name. My card is on file. Do not play none of that. If I get any additional charges, I'm on your arse. Like, I'm not playing with you. I already got the flight. I got the room. Just have a good time. At no point between the airport, between the flight, between arriving, Brokey ever mentioned, y'all realize I don't have no money. Brokey was planning stuff like normal people with money, their own money would do. And so the first idea was, let's go to the dispenser. That word gonna beat me up, I ain't gonna even say it. The dispense place. Orrery. I be tongue-tied. Dispensary. There we go. And you would not think I'm the same person that read full novels in a day, man. I be sounding so slow when I'm talking, but that's because in between my vulgar mouth and me also trying to not say the real name and locations of stuff, I slow down so nothing slips out. Cause on the first story time, I slipped out and said homegirl name, but I edited it. Anyways, let me hurry up before this phone explode. So we go to the dispensary, and bestie of Brokey paid for the Uber. And basically what ended up happening, it was about to be a clockwise circle where we all just pay for whatever Uber, wherever we want to go, which was kind of annoying because I felt like within the hotel, I could tell you the hotel, we stayed at Flamingo. At Flamingo, everything was in walking distance that we needed, but they wanted to go to all of these Disney whimsical places. Like, baby, please just explore the places close first. I hate extra people on trips. Anyway, that's why I travel solo. Had to get that off. So we get to the dispensary. They both shopping. Granted, you know, I've been to Marina for some years now. I don't mess with none of that stuff. We do random drug tests at any given time. And if they really feeling lucky, they'll give you a hair follicle. So I just was, you know, tag along and things of that sort. So from there, they get there and they shopping like normal. Like, they just, I'm playing with the camera. It keep freezing. I hope the video's still recording. So they get there, they both ordering stuff. It's pretty pricey for somebody who I guess don't smoke, because it's like, I don't know. I had, like, off-show gave me a tobacco phase. So it's like, I didn't spend that much on cigarettes. It's unfortunate I smoked those for that little while I did, but stuff happens in life. I don't do that anymore. But so it's time to check out bestie of Brokey. We could call her Chandelier. I just looked up. Chandelier ended up getting her stuff first, because Chandelier, as long as I've known Chandelier, because we always been cool with each other. Like, we like a distant friend, kind of like your distant cousin, like your fifth cousin or something. She always been on her money stuff, and every dude she knew, they took care of her, so she always been laced up. And I thought that about Brokey too, but I guess everything looked good on camera, or you won't know, like in my instance, because you always give it. Now it just keep cutting off. I think my Apple Watch doing this. I might need to wipe it off or something. I'm gonna just have my wrist laid down. But so it's gonna be so annoying to edit this video. I got so many errors. I usually just could go straight through. But anyway, so bestie already checked out. Well, Chandelier already checked out. So now it's time for Brokey to check out. Brokey called me and her over there, and we confused, like, what you want? Because she was pretty sure what she wanted. Like, she used the trees all the time, so she know, you know, and she be on the internet, so she see all of the stuff. You know, everybody live for the internet. So this girl was like, y'all got me? And that was the beginning. I heard all kind of record scratch.
And if you think you gonna ruin my day, bitch, you got another thing coming.
I heard all kinds of stuff in my head. I'm like, what you mean, do we got you? I didn't bring no money with me.
Well, hold on on that. Hold on. Now, hold on. I'm not gonna say that. All right, hold on.
I'm like, so you didn't bring no money with you, or you don't have no money? Because there's a big difference. You could leave your debit card at home or something. Shout out to somebody I ran into on the cruise. Fuck it. Shout out to my cousin who I ran into on the cruise, because she did that. The cruise I went to in January, that's a story time too. About to get everybody. It's the in-game Tony Stark. But anyway, so that's when I first discovered she was broke. Now, granted, this was a 3-day trip. It was originally 4 days because it was me by myself initially, but it was a 3-day trip now because I missed the first day. And when I rescheduled the hotel, I just made it 3 days because I wasn't about to do 4 days with them. Thank God, because it's like, on God, like Glorilla say. So, okay, we do that. We check out. Then from there, we go to the wax museum and stuff like that. Had to pay for her to get in there. Then she hungry. We had to pay for her to get in there. Then we got to the point to where me and Chandelier started like tag teaming, paying for stuff. Like, you get this and I get that, or you do half and I do half, or she paid the whole thing and then I just cash out her my amount plus half of Brokey, and then she eat the other half, and vice versa, and things of that sort. And so this day one, they went over with. Her and Chandelier ended up going somewhere that night. Because for me, I'm really not a nightlife person. Even when I still was drinking, I was kind of phasing out of it because I partied so much between the ages of 18 through like 28, I guess. 28 was when it really was over with for me, but that's 10 years though. That's 10 whole years. Like that's like a childhood. But really between the ages of 24 through 28, that wasn't really partying. That was more depression partying, which depending on, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna get to the Psycho Chronicles, because 2014, that's the year of Psycho. And that's like at least 15 story times. And I'll have more stories, so they're gonna be an hour story time. And so we go to Madame Tussauds. I'm taking beaucoup pictures of them, barely getting pictures of me. Some of my pictures is maybe ones with them that the other one took, but that was another thing. Not just Brokey, a lot of people I hung with, they would have all kind of angles and different filters and portrait mode and slow motion videos. But when it came to me, camera shaky, it's blurry. You cutting my shoes off, you cutting my head off, you cutting my outfit off. Like I never really, like 2 people in my whole like hanging out with random people life have ever taken good pictures of me. And one of the pictures, I actually got it printed out on my refrigerator because it was one of the most detailed pictures somebody took. So anyways, we going through there. There's all kinds of adult things there. And Brokey really just coming up with all the ideas and stuff like that, because they looking at restaurants, but they not looking at the cash symbols, which is 1 cash sign is cheap, 2 cash signs is like modest but not cheap, 3 cash signs is okay bro, we getting up there, 4 cash signs is main hold up or Billionaire Boys Club, 5 cash signs is P. Diddy eat here. They showing me restaurants on the list and I'm like, y'all don't see them cash signs? Like every single restaurant y'all showed is 3 cash signs up. Granted, for me, if it was me myself, I would only go to a restaurant that interested me for like a particular reason. But I'm not about to go to no 3 cash sign in a restaurant and pay for somebody else. Like, this ain't no date or nothing like that. And at this point, it was like, I was actually managing my money better. So before this Vegas trip, I literally had $500. Like, I had more than $500 accessible, but I had $500 that I wanted to spend on that trip. That was my budget for myself. And I would have made that because they had a Subway on the first floor of Flamingo. That would have been my breakfast. For dinner, I would have just tried different restaurants. Some days I might switch it up, go to a brunch spot for breakfast and then Subway for dinner. I didn't have to eat restaurant every single meal because traveling is not about how much you can spend, but it's about how many memories you can make. You can make memories for free. So also, they had that big old wheel. I cannot think of the name of it. I'm gonna just call it a Ferris wheel, but it's not that. It's something wheel. With Caesar's Rewards, I had a discount for it, but it was only for me. So I wanted to go to that and running my mouth like I always did, made the mistake of telling Brokey and them, so they wanted to go too. And Chandelier had her money, but I ended up paying for Brokey on this one. And from there, when you get off, they have you talk to the photographer and he asks you a question or he do something, and then when you answer, somebody come out and scare you, or you gotta pretend somebody's scaring you, and then they take a picture as memorabilia. I wanted to buy that, but Brokey wanted it too, so I didn't get it because I wasn't getting hers either. So then that was day 1. Day 2, it was breakfast time, so everybody like, let's go to brunch. We picked Hex Kitchen, which Hex Kitchen was delicious, but it's like every time we had to pay for something, and then some of the times it would be more me, some of the times it'll be Chandelier. I just felt like I would never do this again. Granted, this was my first non-driving or non-work related trip, because before that, I used to work for a tugboat company offshore and we had to fly to different parts of the country to go to work. But I never considered those cities, me visiting them, because it's you literally at the airport getting a Uber, or maybe one of the other people who getting off have a rental car already, and you driving straight to work. You might get to stop at a Walmart or a gas station, but you ain't really seeing nothing. You could say you went there if you want cap, no cap. And just be like, oh, I've been to Baltimore, I've been to Virginia, I've been to this, I've been to that. But you ain't really been there. You were passing through. My camera hates me today. Is it hot? I don't think it's the heat. I'm 10 seconds away from taking this Apple Watch off, but as long as everything still coincide, we're gonna keep it going. This is ghetto. I've never had a YouTube session of me recording do this, but you can't stop me, whatever it is. I'm gonna keep going, baby. I'm resilient. So, unless somebody must be calling me, and my do not disturb must not be turned on correctly. So from there, we went to Hex Kitchen. So Hex Kitchen, I said that already about the bill thing. It's like, I couldn't enjoy it no more. Subconsciously, I was like, I cannot, like in the back of my mind, I was just counting down to when this trip was over with so that I could redo this again. And that's another story time, because I did redo Vegas again and I got to enjoy it myself. But also, yeah, I'm gonna do that one. I don't know if I should do it too close together, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. That one includes a crush of somebody. I was their crush. They flew to Vegas to see me, and it was actually me going to Vegas during my birthday. Cause this is my new tradition. Every year I'm taking trips for my birthday, like no matter what year it is. And Vegas was okay. Never mind. Back to the story. So at Hex Kitchen. So then from there, here we go with Brokey. All the opinions, like they say, the brokest people have opinions. But then she started feeling guilty, so she was like, "When we get back, when I get paid again, I'm gonna send y'all both $300 or $400 for spending all this money on me." Granted, that never happened. Never happened. After that, I just stopped reaching out, because most of the time of me hearing from people was because I reached out, because I grew up around some annoying siblings, and they basically, and they still have this mindset, they have to call you and text you or talk to you or see you every day. And if you don't love them. So I grew up thinking people who call me all the time, people who text me all the time, they love me. And people who didn't answer when I called, they didn't like me, they didn't want to be around me. So what that made me for the first few years of teenager through some of my adulthood is be nagging for some people. Like introverts, I would nag them. That's why a lot of introverts, I probably ran them off in my younger years, just being friendly and nagging. Or some of them might have knew that I didn't know any better. I just wish they would have told me. But anyways, I ended up just falling out of that phase on my own. But so with Brokey, 100% of our communication was initiated by me. But immediately when we communicated, she would immediately bring up things to do, because she knew that I would pay. Because again, you know, so I should have just smashed at that point if I'm giving away all of this. Even though for me, I'm not even operating like that, but I really, if I can go back in time, I'm not gonna say that. That might be taken the wrong way. Y'all don't really know me like that. But anyway, so from there, it's a lot of from there's going on. But from there, that's when, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. And then I was wondering, maybe the camera keep cutting off because maybe I'm running out of memory, and I don't know. So Hex Kitchen, she promised to pay. This is day 2. And from there, we ended up walking near where the Ferris wheel was, where it was like a clean version of Bourbon Street, where it was nothing but bars, businesses, restaurants, and things of that sort. And we could not find nowhere to eat, because day 3, Chandelier was kind of like, okay, my pockets is a little tired because of you, Brokey. And I'm like, I ain't even saying nothing because my pockets never get tired, but around broke people, I'm broke too. So I was like, well, let's find a cheap restaurant. And we ended up finding one that had happy hour, and the tab for all of us was only like $50, because the food was like $6 or $7 a person, because it was like appetizers, but it was like a hefty portion. And then from there, the drinks was only like I'll be lying if I made up a price. It was reasonable enough to where 3 people was $50. Y'all do the math. I'm sorry, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all. So that was kind of winding down because now they wanted to go more places, but it's like nobody had money except me. But I mean, that's one thing. Even when I was being the fool, I still had some type of breaking point, I guess. But what we ended up doing is walking all the way to the end, and they had the ladies that was in the little hefty outfits, and I kept telling them, y'all, in Vegas, performer people want you to tip them. Like, stay away from them. Don't talk to them. They took pictures with them, and them women looked like they was gonna attack them. They was like, where's our tip? Where's our tip? So they ended up tipping them. And then from there, they still wanted to go somewhere else. And it's like, Lord, how many broke people does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Because at this point, baby, I don't know how broke people operate functioning, because for me, when I'm broke, I'm drove, like Juvenile said. I don't be wanting to go nowhere, which I have been managing money well for years. I have not seen a broke day in a long time. I had a time when COVID was here. I don't know if I can say that word either. Lord, because I know people be saying all kind of nicknames for it on here. So in 2020, I had a time where they switched our job schedule in the middle of me being off, and I hadn't budgeted to be off for an extra 2 weeks, so that threw me off. And then like a homegirl helped me with like $20 for gas, and that was it. And then I paid her back $100, because for me, that's embarrassing to ever need people. So anytime I've ever gotten anything from people, I've given them 5 times whatever they gave me. Or I would give you money and do favors for you, because I just feel dirty needing people. That's why I'm always going to be hyper independent and things of that sort. So they finally bucked up Chandelier Head to go to some Eminem place where it was like an Eminem store or something. And we went there, and it was nice, but for me, again, I'm not enjoying none of this no more, because she didn't spoil the whole trip, honestly. Because what I was planning to do was have days where I split up from them and let them be together, because y'all homegirls. Like, I'm not your homegirl. I'm not a homegirl. Like, I'm not one of the girls in Queen Steve's voice. So I never got to do that. And I actually wanted to go to the Grand Canyon, I think, or something like that, something. And I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to do none of that. So not only was Brokey broke, but she robbed me, because you robbed me of an experience that I cannot get back in that moment. And you messed up a whole trip. And it's like, and even that, you would have thought, like, when my birthday came around, she would have been one of the loudest people saying it to me, but I ain't never got birthday love from that girl. I was there for every graduation, baby shower, etc. And it's like, you don't give to return, but when you giving based off of the idea of something that's not true, a person receiving it should kind of let you know that. That's like when women or men be dating and they see a person who on the top or on their body doing stuff. A respectful person will say, thank you for this, but I'm hoping you know that I'm not interested, or figuring out what place is coming from. But everybody don't have that in them. One thing I learned in the world is majority takers, everybody not takers. Some people gonna appreciate you, but for me, and this is just one of many story times relating to that, I will never be a giver again. I will give to those around me who I have a bond with, who I know care about me without anything. But I'm not about to be that person. I have times where in public I'll like pay it forward, but those people don't know me and they're not about to attach themselves to me because I did that. That's just a good deed I did in that day, because you never know who day you brighten up. But I would never be that friendship giver, like to where, like how people have trauma bonds, they meet when they both having life problems and you find out y'all have nothing in common. Well, for me, I had given friendships to where it wasn't a friendship. It was just receiving benefits from you, because when you break down a friendship to my standards, it never met any of them. And it's like, I'm showing up for somebody who's not showing up for me. So then from there, the day that we leaving, which was day 4, everybody waking up late except me, because I didn't drink that night. Well, actually, rewind, y'all, rewind the cameras. I skipped the Italian restaurant. We went to an Italian restaurant across the street from the Flamingo. It was minimum $40 a plate, but they gave you unlimited wine. So I guess that made up for it. I don't know. For me, I was a drinker then, so I was in heaven, but it was $40 minimum, and it could go up from there. But it was a nice, hefty plate, and the food was good, and it was real Italian. I love real ethnic food from whatever background it is, when you can get the real taste of it. Kind of like when New Orleans used to have real New Orleans food and Cajun food and Creole food. Now we just got Instagram food. So from there, you would have thought she would have picked a $40 plate. She picked something that was like $65. And it's like, at no point did you have any type of reservation about anything. And what makes this all worse is that, again, I take ownership for not clarifying, but we have to keep in mind who I was back then. And I was an introvert living in an extrovert world, being an imposter, because I'm really an introvert. I'm gonna keep saying that every video. So the bill was, between us three, that bill was like, I want to say $275. And it's like, you can't split it three ways because all three people don't have funding, which is crazy, because Brokey was driving a sports car. Brokey had every Jordans. Brokey was at every concert in that city. I don't even know if I said the city already. I don't think I did, but in that city, they always had concerts, and Brokey was always at one of them. Always had hair done. When Weave was out, always had the most expensive. I think it was Remy or whatever. Like, but you broke on the trip. Like, that's where it counted. You flossing locally and ain't getting nothing for it. You ain't getting no brand deals. You ain't getting no ballers. You not getting anything important. And then the thing about it, Brokey worked in the medical field and used to always brag about how good they paid when other people needed jobs. But all of a sudden you broke on the trip. But again, came to the conclusion, me and whoever watching this, you already know it was a finesse, which you don't have to finesse somebody that was who cared about you and all of that. And the thing about Brokey is heartbreaking when you look at it years later. Luckily for me, I've been stopped having emotions and feelings. So, but I just pretend to have them so I still seem human, but I'm not. Let me stop. So, so we could fast forward back to the day we leaving. We leaving, and Brokey and Chandelier cut off again. I probably should be checking to seeing if how far this recording before I even got through this whole story. And it don't record. My chin, I need to lose more weight, because it's like I don't have a fat chin, but it's like it be looking fat because I have a big head. Anyways, so from there, it's the day we leaving, and I discovered that Brokey and Chandelier had actually did greenery in the room, because our rooms was across the hall from each other. Most hotels try to do that when people book together, and you get separate rooms, they try to keep them close, which is nice, I guess. But then they said that, like, when they opened the door and it smelled like that, they immediately tried to offer me food from the night before, because when they did that adventure I told y'all about, I believe, I said they wanted to do an adventure. Okay, no, that's another part I missed. Got to get better at story times. They had a point to where they left and went somewhere the third night, but they didn't invite me or tell me, which I would have said no, but that would have been good just in case something happened to them, because I would have never knew. I would have assumed it was in their room. and then it would have been a while before I would have figured out that they not in their room, because I would assume they were sleeping if I would have been knocking, or their phone would have been going to voicemail. Brokey was always a clumsy person, so I would have assumed she dropped her phone in water again, or she forgot her charger again. And I don't know what I would have assumed about Chandelier, because we was cool, but I didn't know her enough to know how she operated as a person. So they went somewhere and got a whole bunch of free food. I forgot what they said, but they barely ate the food, which for me, I would have ate some of it, but you offer it to me the next day. Flamingo didn't have no refrigerator or no microwave, so the food wasn't even properly preserved. And you tell me this the day we leaving, and y'all had been greenerying, doing the greens and the trees in the room. But luckily, Vegas must just be ghetto to where they don't care, because I never got charged anything. But we end up going to the airport, and Brokey was like, maybe we should stop somewhere and get breakfast. It was like suddenly me and Chandelier became one, and we both said no real hard at the same time. And it was just like, no! And it was funny because she apologized, and it's like, girl, you already didn't use me. I don't know if you really paid her back. You didn't finesse the biggest finesse, because the little dinners and stuff as hanging out, that's petty money. But a trip, you got wine and dine and a free flight and a free hotel. And you didn't have to give up no cool, like Jocelyn said, cool cat. So it's like, it's crazy. But what I love about me is that stuff like that have a long lasting effect, because those people come back years later and tell me I was the only person who ever did that. And I will be the only person, because when you don't do right by people, until you do right by me, you never have good luck. Like, you ain't gonna just be cursed like in the Bible, but I would imagine, like, you realize that you never had to stand up to be a better person, to where you never attract good people. You attract people who use us like you, and then they end up using you. I be looking so puffy on this sofa, and then this beater don't help at all. Like, anyways, so then we get to the airport. She talking about she hungry. Me and Chandelier ignore her. So then finally, we part ways. Wait, did we part ways? No. I just remember something. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. No, in the beginning, before all of this happened, I really want to fight the younger me so bad. Like, I want to square up. Like, I really just want to be like, because I brought them to the airport, but we all was living on different sides of town, to where they all should have just went to the airport separately, or Brokey and Chandelier should have met at one place and then they went, or they all met me where I lived at and just went from there, respectful people. But no, I remember I had to get up extra early because I had to go to three different sides from one side of town to another side to another, then to the airport. So when we left, I'm already just wanting to eliminate everybody, because I'm just annoyed, because it's like, okay, I'm in Houston, I just came from Vegas, but I have no post-trip excitement because you took that from me. You took everything from me. Man, if I could find video clips, because I'm thinking of specific things. If I find them video clips, this video gonna be fire. But so from there, like, it's daytime now, and it's traffic, and I hate traffic. Traffic is my kryptonite. I do anything to avoid traffic. If I have to drive, like when I be coming from the airport in New Orleans, luckily I don't be having flights during traffic time, even though by the airport is always traffic, but that's not traffic. Traffic is the traffic to where traffic don't be moving at all, and it take you like 30 minutes to get from Metairie to Kenner to barely touching the New Orleans city line. I was about to say state line, Lord. Children were left behind, I will say that. So from there, I'm just drove. And this is Texas traffic. This is Texas traffic. So that is the realest traffic that I've seen thus far in my Rick Ross voice. Oh. So, man, I think that the flight got there, we was around 5 something, and I'm remembering this now. One person got dropped off. The sun was kind of getting weak. The second person got dropped off. The sky was turning the colors it do when it's set. And then by the time I made it to where I had to go, it was completely nighttime. So that basically like catapulted me into being like a full-time introvert, but I still had flaws in my system because some people, again, them boundaries wasn't really standing strong, and it's like a lot of people slip through the cracks, but we gonna make it through. Like I would say within a year, y'all gonna feel like y'all know me real well. But if I keep pumping out content as fast as I do, that might happen sooner. But that's basically about the Vegas situation. So I'm making sure I ain't missing no parts, because then we're gonna have to rewind again, which I'm sure y'all like that. Because people who listen to story times, y'all like me because I watch story times too. I like when Queen Steez do story times. I like when Life with Simone do story times. I like when K Shine do story times. I like when T do story times. Some of my favorite people, I noticed that YouTube be kind of hating because they don't be showing up on my front page like they used to. I like when Jimmy P do story times. It's a few people I like who do story times, but hopefully I become y'all favorite too. Cause I mean, I add a different twist to it. You know, they all women. I'm a guy, you know, best of both worlds. Grew up around women. I'm a man, so I kind of have both perspectives. I can't ever claim to really know everything from a woman point of view because I'm not a woman, but I can get close. Like, I won't be in Miami, but I'll be in Jacksonville, so hopefully all these other videos recorded. We gonna see, because if they did, that mean that this video gonna be up tonight. So yeah, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. But for real, like the like is heavy. Everything, any support is appreciated. Let's start there. But liking, like I got videos with thousands of views and 6 likes. Y'all got me looking weak out here for the people who ain't doing it. For the 6 people who did do it, y'all are God's favorite, and I hope y'all get many blessings. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all know I'm gonna keep doing YouTube shorts. That's like Snapchat for me now, but I make sure to make it make sense at least. So yeah, hopefully everything recorded. If y'all see this today, which is, I don't know what day it is. After my birthday, I don't know what day it is anymore. I know it is Sunday, I'll give you that much. But whatever today's date is, then we made it. But if not, my phone hates me, and I'm going to go outside and destroy it. Thank you.